we are still on a mission to try to reach 25,000 subscribers, and we could really use your support. If you enjoy daily Knicks content like this, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button because it could really support all the great content that we're creating for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them things. The Knicks have won 4 games straight. And one of the main common themes out of all of the Knicks wins thus far has been the defense, the improved defense in the month of December. Well, really not the month of December, but over the last, I don't know, I want to say 5, maybe 7 or 9 games, the Knicks and their defense has been near the top of the league while they're maintaining a near top of the league offense. What that amounts to is almost unbeatable basketball. When the Knicks are playing like this, they're moving the ball, they're moving themselves, and they're getting other players involved, making the game easier on themselves and playing defense, getting transition buckets. There's so much to talk about tonight. So many reasons why the Knicks dominated and destroyed the Raptors. But for me, the main reason why the Knicks dominated, why they came in and took advantage of this game from start to finish, really, was because of OG Anunoby and Karl-Anthony Towns. When I'm talking about they came into that second quarter with a mission on their minds, that's exactly what happened. Everything's coming together, and we are becoming that team that's a legit contender in the Eastern Conference, and I could not be happier. We're going to break down each and every part of this game and how the Knicks were able to be so dominant against the Toronto Raptors. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. So that way, anytime we drop new content, you get notified. And now, let's get started. The Knicks dismantled the Raptors in a dominant OG Anunoby game. Guys, I don't even know where to start because if you're looking at this game, if you're looking at the first quarter, obviously the Knicks did not do what they needed to do in that first quarter. And if I could be honest here, if you've been watching the last couple of games, what's up with our turnovers? We're turning the ball over so often in the first quarter, and I'm not talking about only this game. You can go back to each and every game we played over the last 5 or 6 games. The turnovers in that first quarter just seem to be a little higher than normal. Now, normally, into the second, third, fourth quarter, we control it, and it's not as bad. But we have to control those early turnovers because they're hurting the Knicks early, and if we're able to control that, play that same level of defense, we'll be able to blow out teams much earlier than the second quarter. We'll be able to do it in the first quarter. We just have to make sure we lock in. Now, our defense was a little bit shaky to start. You saw Toronto, specifically RJ Barrett, really attacking the Knicks inside, attacking what we were doing, and they were pushing the ball. And if you notice, when any opposing team pushes the ball against the Knicks inside, or they play very good defense on us and they're switching a lot, it causes the Knicks a lot of problems. Oftentimes, they hunt the mismatch, and that's where they get caught up. Tonight, I felt like they did the best thing they possibly could do. They waited and was patient with their offense. They knew the Raptors were going to flame out at some point. Scotty Barnes can't get it done. RJ Barrett can't get it done. And those two together, they're pretty much inefficient. They've never been great together. Either one player goes off or the other. Never two together. And honestly, tonight's game showed you that. We had to withstand the storm, and we did it through defense, through ball movement, through player movement. And in that second quarter, the avalanche of offense that we saw in that second quarter, led, by the way, by the elite, and I have to call it what it is at this point, elite playmaking by Karl-Anthony Towns. This man passes the ball to OG behind his head, around his back, around his stomach. I don't know how creative these passes are, how he's even attempted to do any of them. But the way he's passing the ball, nobody's expecting it, but our teammates seem to still catch it. They're able to convert, and we're able to make a play off of it. It comes because of smart cutting, smart shooting, and also trusting the pass and trusting the players on the floor. Never before in my life have I seen a Knicks team on the floor trust each other like this on defense and on offense. Nobody's selfish. Nobody cares who has the most points at the end of the game. It's always about how I can get there, how I can win, who's going to help me win. Tonight, it was OG and Karl-Anthony Towns. The other night, it was Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges. The night before that, Karl-Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges. What I'm trying to say is the Knicks are so stacked. We're so good that our captain in Jalen Brunson can have an off night scoring, cannot even be involved really in terms of having an impact on offense. And we can still blow out teams without having to worry about anything. One of the major conversations last season was the non-Brunson minutes. You know, it's funny. I haven't heard anything about the non-Brunson minutes. And there's a reason why I'm not hearing anything about the non-Brunson minutes. Because when Brunson's not in the game, we are not only thriving, we are dominating. Our defense looks a little bit better. And I love JB. Don't get me wrong. I know what he gives to this team. So I'm not knocking him by any stretch of the imagination. But in that second quarter, Cam Payne, Deuce McBride in the backcourt, let's say what it is. Dangerous on offense and dangerous on defense. They both go after it. They both attack. And the three-pointers that Cam Payne was giving you, the reason why the Knicks were so up in that second quarter, while we were blowing the doors off of that second quarter, was because of the play of Cam Payne and how well he was playing with this Knicks team. You could really look at it from a quarter-to-quarter breakdown. Knicks didn't do so good in the first quarter. The second quarter basically set the Knicks up for what was going to be the lead for the entire game. And then the third quarter, where we completely shut the door on the Raptors ever coming back into this game, it was because of two people. OG Anunoby and Karl-Anthony Towns. And because of those two guys putting on a show, another performance of dominance, the Knicks were able to win this game, blow out the Raptors like we should do, but do it in a way that showcases our skill set and tells everybody in the league, we're not a team that you can ever take lightly anymore. We're getting healthier, we're looking better, we're clicking. And when all that happens, this is what happens. And I mean, if OG Anunoby is going to look like that, if you can make OG look like that, it has to be a good game. And the final score doesn't even let you know how much of a dominant game the Knicks played. 139 to 125. As you can see here with the quarter-to-quarter breakdown, I did say in that first quarter, Knicks scored 30 points, Raptors 28. Again, it wasn't that the Knicks played bad. It's just that when you watch the quarter, there's unnecessary turnovers. We're not making shots that we normally should make, not playing the right defense, allowing them to attack inside. It's just things that the Knicks right now wouldn't allow. We're a better team than that. So you expect better. And we got better as we waited for the game to progress. As you can see in the second and third quarters there, I mean, 40 points in the second quarter, 41 points in the third quarter. I mean, you can't play better basketball than that. The way the Knicks are playing on defense, we were stopping their penetration. We were making it hard on their perimeter shots. We were making sure that when we got the rebound, this was key here, especially from Karl-Anthony Towns. And this won't show up in the box score. You won't see this on his stat line. He takes the ball, chucks it from behind his head, Kevin Love style, all the way up court to whoever is the first person up court. Sometimes Anunoby, sometimes Bridges, whoever it is. And that person catches the ball, and we're able to dominate even further, do what we need to do even further inside the paint. That's why the Knicks were so dominant. Not only was the ball movement, but it was the purposeful ball movement. Karl-Anthony Towns made it a point tonight to not only score. He had 31 points. We're going to get to that. He also rebounded as well, too. He was close to a triple-double because of the playmaking that he did. And if you were watching the game, you saw the playmaking absolutely in the second quarter. You saw it to close out the third quarter. Tom Thibodeau was not happy in that fourth quarter. I mean, 43 points we gave up to the Raptors in that quarter. We only scored 28. And OG Anunoby's stat line tonight, almost impossible to ignore. Probably the best stat line on the team in terms of individual stats and in terms of two-way play. There's nobody better in terms of tonight's game. Look what OG Anunoby did tonight, guys. I mean, 31 points, 13 of 15. 13 of 15. 13 of 15 from the field. 31 points on 13 of 15 shooting from the field. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, plus 25. I don't know how to describe OG Anunoby anymore. I've called him Demon Time, defensive monster, defensive juggernaut, best two-way player in the league, best two-way player on the Knicks, one of the best contracts we have because he's worth every single penny of it, has not missed a game yet, and even though a lot of people wish for his downfall, he still continues to prove why the Knicks gave him all of that. It doesn't matter if he's scoring. His defense is always going to look the same, but what is going to look a little bit different is when that defense is paired with the offense that we saw tonight. 13 of 15, and it was easy. Wasn't it so easy for OG to score 13 out of 15 because of the ways he did it? When I say he picked his former team apart, that's the theme going around. Karl-Anthony Towns picked his former team apart. OG Anunoby picked his former team apart. You wanted a three-pointer? He got it for you. You wanted to see him cut? He did it for you. You wanted to see him hit the mid-range? He got that for you. You wanted to see him play make? Oh, yeah, he did that. And in case you were missing the defense, yeah, he dove on the floor for loose balls, stole the ball directly from players' hands just to pass it up court to somebody else or attack himself, finish, get to the line, get to the free throw line, attack, make sure other players get in foul trouble. That's what the Knicks were doing tonight, and that was spearheaded by OG Anunoby. But you saw another player in that graphic as well, too, right? I'm not the only person who saw that player there, right? Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns and OG Anunoby combined for 31 points apiece. 31 apiece. He shot, Cat, by the way, shot 73% from the field. 31 points on 73% shooting from the field. 10 rebounds, 7 assists, plus 17. And shout out to Knicks Muse, who clearly states, running out of words to describe him. You know, I am too, but there's one word I can describe him with: MVP. Those are MVP level numbers. There's no other way to say that. There's no other way to say it. 31, 10, and 7. Listen to that. He plays the 5. Listen to that. 31, 10, and 7. What? Near triple-double for Karl-Anthony Towns? One of the main reasons we win tonight's game, and he's not even looking for his shot that much. I know he had 31 points, but it was the assist that stood out for me. If you're watching this game, it's how he got others involved. Mikal, OG, Jalen Brunson, and his threat of the pick and roll allowed Jalen Brunson to score more points in the third quarter when he was basically silent in the first half. Jalen Brunson had 3 points. Had 3 points in the first half. And by halftime, the Knicks were up 18, 70-52. And Jalen Brunson didn't do anything. Jalen Brunson didn't have to do anything. It's not a knock to Jalen. It's more praise to Jalen. Jalen doesn't have to work 45 minutes a night to help the Knicks win a game. He doesn't have to play much to help the Knicks win a game. OG's enough. Cat's enough. Mikal's enough. And Mikal's not going to get enough burn, not going to get enough praise. Good defense, good three-point shooting again, good efficiency again. He didn't score 20-plus points again. Didn't score 30-plus points again. Didn't have to because Wingstop traded. Last game it was Mikal. The game before that it was Mikal. Honestly, the entire month of December it's been Mikal. It really hasn't been OG. So OG getting his time to shine right now in this game against his former team, you gotta love it. And hopefully this starts a trend for the Knicks to continue all of these players playing the exact same way, even better. Obviously, we have to talk about the Knicks and the amount of minutes some of the players played here. So, of course, you know me, kind of the minutes police. I will talk about that a little bit. Mikal Bridges tonight, 41 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 14 points and 4 assists. Very good game for Mikal Bridges. I don't like the minutes at 41. Honestly, I wish we can lower them down just a little bit more. I thought we had an ability to do that. But the rest of the starters, I'm okay. I'm actually pretty okay. OG Anunoby, 34 minutes. Karl-Anthony Towns, 32 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 32 minutes. He shot 4 for 13 from the field, so not great in terms of his shooting. Honestly, he missed a lot of shots that he normally would make. The thing for me with Brunson is a 0 for 5 from 3 and his free throws. Wasn't hitting his 3 free throws tonight. 3-pointers not there for him tonight, but still gave you 12 points, gave you 7 assists. I mean, Jalen Brunson, even though he's not going to score sometimes, he's always going to find a way to be effective. Josh Hart, 31 minutes, 3 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. Gave you 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and 11 points. Not the greatest Josh Hart game, but again, he didn't really have to give you the greatest Josh Hart game. Achua, Payne, and McBride playing 15-plus minutes each is impressive. Achua with 22 minutes off the bench. He had 7 rebounds. Also had another 3-pointer in tonight's game. Gotta love that. 5 points and 2 assists. Jericho Sims. Campaign, 15 minutes, 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from 3. He had 19 points in 15 minutes. That's just ridiculous. Miles McBride, 25 minutes played, 5 of 8 from the field, 12 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. So Deuce getting it done as well, too. I mean, Deuce McBride and Campaign together. I think I saw somebody in the chat say it. They're legitimately like the 6th man of the year combined together, and we have them as a backcourt. It's great to see. We also saw Landry Shamet basically come in for the first 1 minute of the game in garbage time. Shot 1 shot, made it in. So shout out to Landry Shamet making his first basket as a Knick. Saw Tyler Kolek got the crowd going when he came in for his 1 minute as a Knick. Again, we could kill Tom Thibodeau a little bit here for the minutes distribution, but if Mikal Bridges is the only starter that plays 41 minutes and the rest of the team is playing 34, 33, 32 minutes, I'm not going to get too upset by that. I do think if the Raptors didn't make that push, didn't really push that hard in the fourth quarter, those minutes would be a lot more down. But we had to play them in the fourth quarter because the Raptors, unfortunately, were making a run because we allowed them to do that. So team stats tonight, clearly, I mean, with the Raptors and the Knicks, I mean, you see there, 59.3% shot for the Knicks, 54.5% shot for the Toronto Raptors. So clearly, both teams were shooting very well from the field. It was really from 3 where you saw the Knicks get away with the game a little bit. You saw 45.9% with 3-pointers made from for the Knicks, and the Raptors 39.3%. I mean, when you see that level of difference in the NBA, it's going to cause a difference that's going to lead the Knicks to win the game. 15 turnovers to the Knicks, 17 turnovers. Again, I don't like the turnover numbers for the Knicks. It's just entirely too high for me. The Knicks can turn that down. We're normally a better team in the league. I think we're about 12.5 turnovers right now in the league, which I think is around 4th or 5th. So we're usually very good. We need to clean that up. The last couple of games, we've just not been great with that. Toronto, though, still had 15 turnovers. Then the rebounds. Again, see here, I mean, rebound battle, we won it, but not by much. 35 for the Knicks and 30 for the Toronto Raptors. Let's take a look here. So with the Raptors, you can see here, we allowed the Raptors to shoot 77 shots. That's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. 77 shots allowed. That's important. Very, very important. That shows you the level of defense. That shows you the defense and where we are as a team. Just for comparison, do I have the other stats? Comparison, the Wolves game, 89 shots allowed. So 89 for the Wolves, and then this game, 77 allowed. That's improved defense. That's what you call that. We're holding them to 77 shots. You know what that is? 77 shots for the game. That's incredible. And they had RJ and Barnes playing, but they couldn't do anything because the Knicks kept attacking and getting them in foul trouble. That's what the Knicks were doing. They're playing very smart basketball. They were playing their opponent so well, and you can see it here. That's not the only stat that jumps off the page, though, does it? Another stat does as well too, and that is the team assist. 34 team assists to 28 assists for the Raptors. I'm gonna be blue in the face before anybody acknowledges how many times I've talked about this stat. Team assist. Probably my favorite stat out of every stat I give each and every night, because that stat by far tells you whether you win or whether you lose as a team. 20 or under, the Knicks are likely getting blown out. 25, we have a chance. 27, 28, 29, and up, we're destroying teams. And the more we add, the more destruction we do. And that saying 34 assists to 28, that lets you know exactly where the Knicks were doing their damage. Fast break points, we also did very well, 29 to 20. But guys, another area that stands out there, 62 points in the paint to 48. Dominance. 62 to 48. 62 of our points in the paint. Raptors weren't playing any defense in that third. We destroyed their confidence. Destroyed it. How could you not get it destroyed? Because it didn't really matter what they did. It didn't matter. They double-teamed, triple-teamed Karl-Anthony Towns, passed it to an open-wide OG Anunoby. What happened? Got destroyed anyways. And if you look at the shot chart, I mean, you can clearly see what the Knicks did and what the Raptors tried to do. The Raptors tried to attack the paint and tried to attack outside. They hit a couple of those open three-point shots, not going to lie. They obviously shot 39.3% from the field. And on a normal night, on another team they faced, that might have been decent. Against the Knicks, it's not decent because the Knicks are one of the better teams on offense. But maybe against another team, it might have been okay. But the Knicks, you can see there, their attacks inside the paint, a lot more successful. Their three-point attempts, a lot more successful. Again, they're just picking the shots better. But it's more than that, isn't it? It's more than picking the shots better. It's about moving the ball and moving yourself. Toronto, they like to run in transition. When we stop that, they're very bad. They don't pass the ball. A couple of passes, and then they try to isolate and devastate. That's what they try to do a lot. RJ tries to do that. Barnes tries to do that. A couple of their rookies try to do that. With the Knicks, we don't have that same type of ego. We don't care about that. We're moving the ball and making the extra pass if it makes sense. You saw Mikal do it a couple of times tonight. OG did it. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns did it for most of the game. He probably could have put up 50 points if he wanted to, but he wanted to get others involved, and he saw OG Anunoby was on a heater, and he kept passing him the ball. That right there is intelligent basketball, smart play that we've never seen a Knicks team do until this year. We finally have the roster that we've always wanted, and they're finally playing like the team we've always wanted to see. There's nothing else I can say or complain about. Well, I take that back. I can complain about a lot of things. I mean, I'm Troy. Of course, I'll find something to talk about. But overall, for the most part, tonight's game, in terms of start to finish, where the team was, and the attack, the way we attacked, and the way that the Toronto Raptors didn't know where it was coming from, it was a very complete game. One of my favorite games of the season. I'm going to throw it up there with the Minnesota Timberwolves game and with the Denver Nuggets game. Probably top 3 game of the season for me. And please let me know for tonight's game. As you guys saw, the Knicks dominated 139 to 125. We destroyed the Raptors behind OG Anunoby and Karl-Anthony Towns and their monster games. You guys have to tell me, what did you think about tonight's game? Did you like it? What did you like from it? Did you not like some parts of it? Were there some parts that you wanted me to speak about that I didn't speak about? Let me know in the comments, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. Please make sure you smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knick fans, take care of yourself, your families, and each other. If I don't talk to you guys before the holidays, please enjoy your holidays. Thanks and peace and love to your families and your friends, and enjoy whatever you celebrate with everyone that's close and that's important to you and that matters, because best believe I'll be doing the exact same thing. Let's go Knicks. I'm out of here, guys. Peace and love.